Okay, so once again, good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly James. I'm the City Council for the City of Forest Park in Ward 1. And this is the ward meeting that I host every third Thursday of the month at 5 o'clock. And it's really just to give our residents information from our subject matter experts, is what I call them. So we're going to start off with our planning and community development. I believe I have the name correct, department. Ms. Gardner.
Good. Good evening, everyone. Again, I am LaShawn Gardner, the Planning and Community Development Director for the City of Forest Park. I don't have a lot to expound upon this evening, but I will just say that just ensure that if you are doing any type of additions to your homes or any type of buildings, that you always check with our department to ensure, number one, that you are within compliance when it comes to your lot. We have had some instances where people have added on to their homes or did some type of work on their homes only to be notified that they have to stop work. So just ensure that you contact our department before you do any type of renovations, whether it's particularly on the exterior of your homes, because what often happens is people, spend money and then, like I said, only to be notified that they have to stop work and come into compliance and get certain permits. And I'll just go down the list of permits that we handle in our office. Our trade permits, which are plumbing, mechanical, HVAC, and electrical, building permits, building plan review, the fire marshal plan review applications come through our office, signs and temporary sign permits, land disturbance permits, tree removal permits, demolition permits, fence permits, mobile food truck permits, sidewalk permits, telecommunication towers and antennas, and also fire ruling permits. So those are like those permits that we handle in the office. One other thing I would like to mention as well is, if you haven't heard, we've been talking about a pedestrian bridge being built in the city in the future. Well, we have put out an RFP, so we will be moving ahead and trying to see the feasibility of that bridge being built here in the city. And if that bridge is built based on the feasibility study, that will be actually a great monument for the city and a great look for the city. And that's all I have for today.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Okay, we're gonna move on to our Public Works Department. We have Deputy Director. I'm looking at your face. Nigel. Come on up, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. How y'all doing? All right, so greetings from Public Works. I just got a few things to highlight. You would have seen by now all the Christmas decorations that's been going up. We are almost complete. We just have a little bit to do on the main street area, and then that'll be it. After which all of building maintenance and streets gonna refer back to the parks and to the community garden. On the street side, we have been repairing sidewalks on Finley Drive. We have been repairing the potholes over at O'Hara, and any other request that comes through C-Click Fix, which you guys have been using. So thank you for that. You would also start to see the leaf vacuum truck in operations. Yeah. So you would have seen the street sweeper in rotation, but so now you're gonna see both of them now in operation, because you're kind of waiting until all the leaves fall, but you can't wait. It's just way too much now. So you're gonna start seeing that. And for the park division, you're gonna start seeing them trimming all the crepe myrtles throughout the city, and we have a whole lot. And we're gonna be de-limbing and cutting back stuff on the right of ways as well. So that's pretty much it from Public Works. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving. All right.
Thank you, sir. And we'll take your questions at the end once we get through all of our directors. We're gonna go online now. We have our fire chief, I believe, on the line. Chief Clemens.
Good evening, Councilwoman. Let me first say I apologize for not being there in person. I thought I read where it was just going to be virtual tonight, but I am in the office and I bring greetings from the fire department. Fire department has been very, very busy with our programming, our promotional testing over the last few days. We have been testing the backfill, some lieutenants in our organization. So today was the last day that we completed our assessment center for our lieutenant promotional process. I'm sure in the next week or so, we'll have some happy candidates that will be leaders serving the citizens of Forest Park. We've since put 2 new fire trucks in service. Most of the community was there at our push-in ceremony. So you should see 2 new fire engines serving the city of Forest Park. We have been working on revising our org chart. It's just a cleaner version that streamlines all the different divisions. This org chart will be brought forth to council, if not the December meeting, most certainly the January meeting for review. Additionally, we have several programs that are going to be forthcoming through our public safety educator. During the holiday season, you may see toy boxes, Christmas boxes throughout the city, in the fire stations. They have been placed in the community schools where we're going to be collecting Christmas toys for those that are less fortunate for distribution. We're going to be implementing a shop with the firefighter program throughout the holiday season. Forthcoming will be a junior fire marshals program in our elementary schools and a citizens fire academy. And this presentation will be communicated at the December 4th council meeting. With that being said, I believe that is all the information I have to highlight from the fire department. If there are any questions, I am here available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Fire Chief.
Yes, ma'am.
Internally now to our Economic Development Department, we have Director Abraham. I don't know, I'm missing names today, y'all.
Like Lincoln. Hey, y'all. How you doing? So we had a team meeting today in the city of Forest Park, and it reminded me of a story. You know, I grew up out in the country over here in College Park, and there was a little street, a little dirt road down beside of us, and there's a farmer who lived back there, and his name, and he had a mule, and his name was John Henry. So I was riding my bicycle down there one day, and the old farmer was down there pulling a truck out of the ditch. Can you hear me? And so I watched him pull the truck out of the ditch, and he hooked up the old mule with his harness, and he hooked it up to the bumper of the big old truck in the ditch, and he said, "Pull, John Henry, pull." So John Henry pulled against that harness and couldn't get out of the ditch, and he said, "Pull, John Henry, pull." So he pulled against that harness, and the mule was sweating, and so he said, "Pull, John Henry, pull." So he finally wore John Henry out. He said, "Okay, John Henry, take a break." So he went up, patted John Henry on the head, and he said, "Okay, let's try it again." He says, "Pull, Big Sue, pull, John Henry, pull, Big Sue, pull, John Henry, pull, Big Sue, pull, John Henry." And John Henry yanked that truck right out of the ditch. And so I was on my bicycle. I said, "How'd you get that mule to pull that pull that truck out of the ditch?" He says, "John Henry always works better in a team." So we had our team building today, and we're doing some exciting things in Forest Park. We're getting all the departments to work together on things. Mr. Clark has a great vision for the community. Councilmember James is providing a lot of leadership on council at the URA. So there's a feeling in the air here that big things are going to happen now. So it's a lot of exciting things going on in Forest Park. So let me tell you what we're up to in economic development. The Army just turned over 136 acres, the last piece of land to Gillum. Actually, there's 2 pieces of land they turned over. So now the URA owns all the Army and land that's been turned over. And this week we paid off a $30 million debt to the Army. The city borrowed $30 million to buy, I think it was 1,100 acres at Gilm, so we paid it off this week. We have sold that property to companies out there such as Boeing and HD Supply and Kroger and the Blue Star Studios. So we paid off our $30 million debt.
Wait, I don't think y'all heard that. We don't owe nothing to the Army. We just finished paying our last payment of $30 million total.
Big deal. And supposedly there were 92 military bases that closed across the United States back in the 90s. And this is the best performing project of all those military bases. So we are having the Army come down, and we hope the President of the United States and a lot of other officials in April and have a big celebration of this. And you're all going to be invited. So we're proud of this. This really puts Forest Park on the map nationally. So we're all down there. We're also working in a Veterans Museum. Miss James, I think, went to a Veterans Museum and gave us the idea. And she said, I'd like to see something like this happen in Forest Park. So we're working with the Veterans Museum down in McDonough that we visited here recently and gave our veterans a tour. We took 15 of our employee veterans down there to tour and came back. And so they're helping us put together a Veterans Museum down in Gilm. We'll figure it out. We've got a lot of volunteers, and I'm sure we got a lot of veterans here who would appreciate the honor of something memorializing what they've done with their service. We've got the property up in Main Street here. We just put out 9 requests for proposals. We had a meeting. Ms. James was there. We had 40 developers show up. They were interested in Forest Park, and they submitted. I think we had 11 different proposals that we finalized. And you should see some of these projects that they're talking about bringing to Forest Park.
I'm just letting people in. I'm sorry.
There's some really beautiful stuff coming to Forest Park. Let me see. Can't read my writing. We're having a business association meeting. We had one of those here before, but we're inviting our local businesses here, and that will be November 15th. And of course, if you have a small business here, you're welcome to attend. I can't read that note. And then one final thing, as part of the improvements we're doing, working with Mr. Shelby in the planning department, we're going to be landscaping Forest Parkway all the way from I-75 all the way down the median here, all the way I guess to down to Jonesboro Road. It's a big project that James Shelby is working on, the former planning director, and he met with the DOT and they're getting some estimates, and so pretty soon it's going to be more beautiful out here than it is now. So there's a lot of good folks working here to make this a nice place to live and to grow and for things to happen here. A lot of good leadership going on. A lot of people pulling in the right direction, like John Henry and Big C, when we're all pulling together and we're going to make something happen. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it, sir. I think we turned it off. That's why I wouldn't. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, we're gonna go to our police chief. We got him back in the back there. Chief Chris from our police department.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Councilwoman James. Good evening again. So just an update from the police department. As it relates to employment, we have 5 officer positions left out of 125 positions inside of the police department. So with that being said, we're less than 5% with vacancies in a time like this. And a couple of events we do have coming up. We plan on feeding the homeless this year. So right now we're in the planning stages to feed the homeless during Thanksgiving, and I plan on doing the same hopefully around the Christmas season as well. Those details will be placed and posted on our Facebook account, as well as we'll probably do a news blast as well, letting the public know that the homeless will be fed for Thanksgiving. Another thing is, a couple weeks ago, we had a cold spell. We dropped below freezing temperatures. And this is the first time that we have done it. We opened up our unused jail in the rear of our police department, and we turned it into a warming center for the homeless. And we had about 10 people come out per day, and they were able to get a hot plate as well as a place to lay their head to stay out of the cold weather during those days. And with that being said, I do plan on opening up the doors of our facility during these other upcoming cold months to help those that are less fortunate. Our police department will be undergoing some renovations. And during these renovations, there will be detour signs up. So if you do have to do business at the police department during these renovations, we'll try to not inconvenience you all too much. We should have proper posted signs around the building to let you know how you can maneuver around the building. But renovations will be starting not this Monday, but the following Monday. Shop with the Cop will be happening in December. And what that is basically we're partnering with the school, and we're going to find some families that are less fortunate so that we can provide a great Christmas for some of the kids. I'm sorry. And with that, we are asking for donations, monetary donations. And what we typically do as officers, take these kids and these families to Walmart, and we allow them to shop and get things that they need for the holiday season. Our bicycles have arrived. I believe we're probably the first department with electric bicycles. What that means is you'll start seeing officers out on riding bicycles so we can get into the neighborhoods and so we can get into some of the shopping plazas. So with these additional officers we have, we're going to be properly deploying them in areas that need special attention and patrol. Yes, sir. Just give me another moment. I'm about done. With our ARPA funding, a couple of our projects was putting cameras throughout the city, as well as gunshot detection devices. The cameras are installed. We're waiting on Georgia Power to activate them to give us power to those cameras throughout the city. But I am happy to say that we just activated our gunshot detection. What that will do is if gunshots are detected in an area, our police officers will be notified within seconds, and they'll be able to respond to the actual location where the gunshots stem from. So we'll have a very close, we'll be in very close proximity of where those gunshots originated from. And last, it is the holiday season, so I need to give you all some pointers. We are going to be increasing our presence with the law enforcement during the holiday season. All of my officers will be out in the field, including command staff, and y'all might see me out there patrolling as well. But with that being said, please keep in mind that you want to leave all valuables inside of your car out of the view of the public. Entering autos is one of those crimes that is very difficult to combat unless we catch them in the act. So if you see suspicious vehicles, see somebody walking around a parking lot looking in cars, give us a call. And the only thing we're going to do is go out and make sure that they're up to some good and not up to no good. Lock your car doors. It's cold. Do not leave your car running with your keys inside of the car. If you're going out of town, you can request for additional patrol of your residence while you're out of town. If you have an alarm system at your house, it might be a good time to update your telephone numbers to make sure your telephone numbers are accurate, as well as testing your home alarm system. Do not leave your car running like I stated. Telephone numbers are updated. Large electronic items. If you go out and purchase some items for Black Friday or for holiday or for Christmas, I recommend you break those boxes down and try to put them in a garbage can and or take them to your local compost site. Lock your car doors, and that is it. So I thank you at this time for this for the update from the police department.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Mississippi, we're gonna get to you. We're gonna go to our HR department. We have our Deputy Director, Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. The city of Forest Park has some wonderful job openings, and if you know anybody, send them our way. Currently, the Public Works Department is hiring maintenance workers. They're looking for a maintenance worker to work part-time. We have 2 animal control officer positions open right now. The police department is still hiring a few more police officers, as Chief Poor said, they're almost full. The Public Works Department is looking for a mechanic. They're also hiring for a trade specialist, a street foreman, and also a fleet foreman. They're looking for a heavy equipment operator, and the heavy equipment operator must have valid CDLs. The fire department is hiring for firefighter EMTs and also firefighter paramedics. If you're interested in any of these job vacancies, or if you just want to just every once in a while look on our website to see what we're hiring, you go to www.forestparkga.gov. You click on departments, you choose human resources, you click on job opportunities, and then if you see something you're interested in, you hit that apply now button, and then that'll put you in our register and you can apply for the position. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. We have our Recreation and Leisure Department, Director Maxwell in the building.
Once again, how's everybody doing? My name is Tyreek Max. I'm the Director of Recreation and Leisure Services. I'll let you guys know about some upcoming activities we have going on. We have our soccer, check. Oh, okay. All right, we have our soccer championships this Saturday at the, pretty much going 9, 10, 11 o'clock out there on the field, the baseball field. So if you guys are around, pretty much come out, enjoy yourself. We're currently still registering for basketball. We opened up some more spots. So if you got grandkids or children in the neighborhood that's looking to play basketball, we still have some more spots open till December the 15th. And it's $90 to register. So go ahead and come by the Recreation Center to register them for that. We also are gearing up for our Thanksgiving edition of the Ultimate Tailgate Experience this Saturday. So come out, enjoy a hot meal, and pretty much watch our Georgia Bulldogs versus Tennessee. What are they, Volunteers? I don't know. I just know. Go Dogs. And then we're also getting ready for our holiday extravaganza featuring the lighting of the tree and the Christmas parade, which is December, the first Saturday in December. So I want to throw a date out there. Every year is the first Saturday in December. Parade starts about 5 o'clock, come down Main Street, finish in the park. And we have the lighting of the tree and some other live entertainment and festivities going on during that time. So once again, I thank y'all so much. We'll be redoing a lot of stuff at the senior center between now and the top of the year. So if you see some construction going on, we're just trying to improve some things around the senior center, okay? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Testing. It's okay. So I don't know if we have anybody online that is speaking. If we do, unmute yourself. Let me know before I bring up our city manager. All right, without further ado, he just walked in the building. Come on up, sir. This is Mr. Clark, our city manager. Mr. Clark, give us an update, sir. Putting you on the spot.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. First, I'd like to always acknowledge it has been the privilege of my life to serve this great community alongside so many amazing elected officials, and especially this beautiful community. You know, so just off the day, one of the things that we focused on, hey, how are you doing? One of the things that we focused on in the executive offices is really honing in on how our operations are. So our team today, probably north of 50 people, sat through a 2.5-hour professional development class so that we can learn how we can better serve our constituents as well as our businesses. In addition to that,
Yeah, be still. You being recorded.
oh, hey. In addition to that, we're also excited at the top of the year to release some of our renderings of some of the projects that we've been working on. So for many years, the residents have heard about the improvements over at Star Park. We are excited that we are inching closer and closer to really being complete with a plan that we can afford. Initially, when the project was bid out, the bids came back roughly $10 million over what we had in the city's pocketbook. And so what we've done is taken a value engineering approach just to hone in on how do we still get the same quality with the park, but take out some of the bells and whistles perhaps that were in there, just making the budget overruns. In addition to that, we were also working on finalizing our plans for the new Forest Park City Center. It will be your new governmental center by which all of the departments in the city will be housed with the exception of Public Works. Our fire department, one of our plans now is for the fire department to occupy the building that is currently now known as City Hall. And then last but certainly not least, we were excited to present to Mayor and Council about a week ago our final plans for the renovations of the Rite Aid facility right there on Forest Parkway. As many of you know, it's been vacant for a number of years. And one of the things that we're really focusing on is we want to ensure that our residents can get everything they need, quality of life wise, right here within our backyard. So this Rite Aid building will become a 3-restaurant food terminal, meaning there'll be 3 different concepts for food in there, as well as 3 different flexible office space. For individuals such as yourself that may need a space to just have a meeting, go work, those offices will be there for you to use. We also have a coffee shop that'll feature a drive-through there, as well as a bakery. And last but certainly not least, for those individuals that want to rent it out for some type of an event, there is an area where you can get sodas as well as those alcoholic beverages for those that partake, just so that we have a well-rounded concept for all of the community to enjoy. We're really super excited about that because we're able to show people we don't have to wait on developers to come into our community and do business. We can take it at the helm and do it ourselves to show them how great this community really is. Ms. James, I think that completes my updates for the day.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Woo! So we do have some great things happening. I believe I got all the department heads, all departments, wonderful, wonderful. So we will, go ahead.
The most important thing,
Come on, you gotta come to.
one of the strategic objectives for the mayor and council was these housing renovation dollars for this housing rehabilitation. And so I know that several of you in this room have asked me about it. I hired the staff person that will control that program 2 weeks ago. So our plan is to launch it at the top of the year with the presentation to mayor and council. We're trying to get it to where it is simple for everybody to take advantage of those dollars that are there for any of your housing rehabilitation needs, because the money has to be expended before the end of next year.
Wonderful. So we're excited about everything that's happening in the city of Forest Park, you all. We're going to take some questions. I'm going to ask first, do you have any questions for Chief Clemens? I believe she's the only person online. And I want to acknowledge our Director of HR. She's online too. Her representative was here tonight, our Deputy Director. But do you have any questions for the Chief so I can close out this section? And if not, we'll take questions for the room. Anybody have any questions for the Chief of Fire? Okay. All right. So let me close this part out and then we'll open it up to the audience for fire. Okay. Ms. Dixon, did you have anything you needed to update us on? No. Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to say thank you all for joining us. We're going to go ahead and close out the electronic version of the meeting. And we have this meeting every 3rd Thursday of the month here at 696 Main Street. So if you miss it, you're missing the food tonight. So So anyway, thank you all for joining us and we'll see you later.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.